What's going on YouTube? Uberman here. So I bought a Prius. That's no secret anymore. And quite honestly, the Prius was a complete accident. I didn't really find anything that I felt comfortable spending money on. The Prius was there, it didn't run. I've never worked on one before, although I do know how to work on them. It was just the right price, it was the right car, it seemed like the right project for this channel. Since then, things have the wheels in my head have been turning, like what can I do with this Prius? Other than daily drive it, which I've been doing so far. Now I'm going to start by answering a lot of questions that I've seen in the comments. That is the hybrid battery good? It seems that's really the main concern for most of my viewers, for most of you guys watching, is that the hybrid battery pack is going bad and it's going to cost upwards of $3,500 to replace. And while that is absolutely true, if you were to go and have it done by a professional, you can buy a reconditioned battery pack on eBay delivered to your door for $1,000. Still a lot of money, yes, but not $3,500. Aside from that, I know how to rebuild these battery packs myself. When a hybrid battery goes bad, you see, this giant battery pack that most people don't understand the inner workings of them, and that's fine, but my father is an electrical engineer. He spent his entire life working on electronics, and I learned a ton from that man, including how to work on batteries. We used to do experiments with batteries where you would hook them in parallel with one another. We had a lot of fun. We built lasers. My father and I did a lot of stuff with electronics, and I paid very close attention to what he did for a living because I was always fascinated by it. So thanks to him and a little assistance from YouTube, I'm quite capable of rebuilding a battery pack. You see, the battery pack isn't just one giant battery that has to be replaced. The battery pack is actually just one big container. And when you open the lid of the container, you have a ton of what they call cells inside of that container. And I believe they all run at about 7.2 volts. There's a lot of them. When a hybrid battery pack goes bad, it's usually because a few of the individual cells have gone bad. It's kind of like, just to simplify it here, if you have a digital camera or something that takes like AA batteries, right? It requires 2 AA batteries. Now, you could take one fully charged AA battery and put it in there, and you could take one completely dead AA battery and put it in there. And chances are very good that the camera won't work at all because you have one dead battery and you have one good battery. It's not capable of supplying the power necessary to run the camera. The same thing is true with the hybrid drive motor. It requires a lot of juice. This is a very high voltage and very high current motor, a very complicated device, and it requires a lot of juice to run it. So when you have this giant battery pack, picture it as a giant battery pack like a digital camera, but this thing holds tons and tons and tons of individual batteries. So as those batteries start to die off, each individual cell, you can't drive that motor efficiently anymore, and eventually you can't drive the motor at all. So how do you fix it? It's pretty simple. You take the battery pack apart, you use a volt-ohm meter, and you can check for the dead cells, the cells that are not charged, and then you can replace those. You balance them out, you put it back together, and you put it back in the car and you're done. You can literally rebuild one of these battery packs. I think the individual cells on eBay sell for about 30 bucks. So even if you had like 10 completely bad cells, you could replace them for less than $400 if you do it yourself. It's really easy. I mean, it's almost, okay, I don't want to say it's as easy as replacing a AA battery, but you literally open the cell, unhook the wires going to these batteries, and then you just pull them out, you replace them, put the wires back, and you put the cap back on it. It's that easy to rebuild a battery pack in a hybrid. It's nothing to be afraid of. Now, the battery pack is big and it is heavy, so probably be helpful to have 2 people, with the moving of the battery pack around, but it's really not a big deal, guys. Now, moving on to the question, is the battery pack still good? The battery pack is absolutely good. I have been driving this thing daily. I've driven over 150 miles, and that's combined probably 50-50 highway and city, and I'm averaging 47 miles a gallon right now. The battery charge for the hybrid pack typically sits around 3/4 of the way full, which is where it's supposed to sit. It's not supposed to sit on completely full, unless you're like going down a steep grade for a long period of time, at which point it'll probably go up to full, and then the overload protection will kick in and run the electric motor to bring down that charge. It typically sits between 1/4 and 3/4 is where a hybrid battery is supposed to sit. It's never supposed to be fully empty, and it's never really supposed to be fully charged. So I don't know if this is the original battery pack in this car or not, but I'm not concerned about the battery pack at all, because I can fix it, I can replace it very, very cheap. The second biggest concern was the generator, and that is a genuine concern of mine as well. These hybrids don't use a traditional alternator. A little alternator for a car is not going to run that battery pack. You're not going to keep that battery pack charged with that. The generator is basically the heart of this whole thing, this whole operation. And the generator is built inside of the transaxle. It's, I believe this is a CVT-E transmission, and the generator runs everything. The generator goes bad, you're done. You end up replacing the transmission, which again, a lot of people point out this is multiple thousands of dollars it's not worth to fix. It's not worth it to fix. Well, incorrect again. If the generator goes out, true, you replace a transmission. The transmission in this car is small. It's like this big. It's kind of tall because it has all the hybrid components attached to it, the electronics and such. But again, I have found on eBay these transaxles with low miles, 100 and some thousand miles with a warranty. I can get them for $500 delivered to my door. This is a cheap car if you know where to source the parts. Now, even better than that, I decided to jump on Copart last night and look around for more of these old school hybrids, these first gen Priuses. You can find them. There's several of them on there, even on eBay. And what I found is I can get one with 130,000 miles, the entire car, that has a bad hybrid battery pack, which really just means it's got some dead cells, but I can get it for $600. This is a beautiful low mile Prius, and it's in excellent condition inside and out. I can get this thing for $600 plus shipping, of course. There's no fees because it's eBay. This thing's from North Carolina, so for any of you interested in something like that, jump on eBay, North Carolina. It is a green, one owner, Toyota Prius with 138,000 miles. Excellent buy for $600. Even with shipping, that's an excellent buy. Now, back to Copart. I can find these on Copart pretty regularly for like $400 to $600. Every part you need is going to be in this thing, except for possibly the hybrid battery. Some people tend to steal those. Luckily, I know to look for the hybrid battery before I buy the car, and I highly suggest you do the same. It's definitely worth looking, because if you're missing the whole battery pack, that's going to be, for a reconditioned one, you're going to have to pay about $1,000 for that. But I can buy a complete car, another one of these, to source parts off of for like $600. So I guess the point I'm getting at is that maintaining this Prius is ridiculously cheap. I mean, unbelievably cheap. And although there's a lot of electronics involved, this is a very simple car to work on. Most of your components consist of basically your battery pack in the trunk behind the passenger, or behind the back seat, and you have your generator / CVT transmission. These are the major electronic components of your car. The transmission is not hard to replace. Neither is the battery pack. So I wanted to just give you guys that information, because there seems to be a lot of misinformation out there about how much it costs, how difficult it is. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's pretty simple, and it's very reasonably priced. So moving on, what are my plans with the Prius? Well, I did some thinking, and I've done some contacting of some people trying to get the ball in motion for this. And what I've decided to do is I am going back to doing my Uberman stuff as well as Copart. I'm actually going to start driving again. I don't know if I'm going to drive full time, but I am going to start driving for Rideshare again. I'm going to use the Prius. Now, this is a 2002 Prius. Lyft had no problem approving it. I have the Prius on the Lyft app ready to roll. It's activated. Everything is good to go on it. Unfortunately, when it came to Uber would not accept it because they said it was too old. Well, I have contacted some people at Uber, and I was basically, I wasn't laughed out of the room, so to speak, but I was basically told not a chance, not going to happen. And I said, well, that's fine. What I plan on doing is a series that'll have its own little space on my channel. A series that's basically something like how much I make doing rideshare in a $900 Prius. Now, I wanted to balance this with Uber and Lyft. I thought that would be a lot of fun, but it seems like Uber is not going to work with me on this, and that's fine. So instead, it will have to be like how much I make on Lyft in a $900 Prius. Now, in all fairness, I do have some money going into the Prius. I got the windows tinted. That's a necessity. I don't know how that car spent its whole life in Oklahoma without tinted windows. But I got the windows tinted yesterday, so it's going to keep the car a lot cooler. I think it makes the car look a lot better. It's going in Wednesday for a full detail. We're talking wax and polish, steam clean the whole interior, carpets, seats, all of that stuff. I got a new set of tires for it. The maintenance is pretty much all done on it. There's really not much for me to do. The tires are good on it, but I found some touring tires that have much thicker tread. That thicker tread gives the car a much more comfortable ride. So the car already rides very well the way it is, but when you're driving in Oklahoma, we have a lot of inclement weather, a lot of flash floods and stuff. You really want to make sure you've got really good tread on your tires so you don't end up hydroplaning, and it gives the car a much more comfortable ride. The only other thing I can think of that the Prius needs, well, it doesn't need, but that I might do in the near future is a set of struts. It looks like it's still on the factory struts. And I found a set of Monroe quick struts. Basically, they're just quick installs. You just unbolt, bolt, put it back together, take it down to Firestone, get alignment. $200 for a set of 4. That's complete struts with the springs, the bumpers, the bearings, everything. $209, I think, for a complete set of struts for that car. The tires they're Grand Touring tires, and I got them for $250 for a set of 4. This car is so cheap to maintain. It is. I didn't realize it. I really didn't. I have laughed about hybrids in the past. I've said hybrids suck in the past, but now that I own one, wow. I am averaging almost 50 miles a gallon. That for me, that's just insane. And doing this series on rideshare with this old Prius, I think is something intriguing because I can find these Priuses available, which means other people can find them too. And if you want to do ride sharing, since this channel is called Uberman because I started this channel relating to the rideshare industry, this combines everything I love. This combines my car videos with the rideshare industry. It's synergy. This is perfect for me because now I get to take a car that I got for $900 on Copart and I get to go use it to see how much money I can make in the rideshare industry. And in my market, if I'm not mistaken, rates are 56 cents a mile, something like that. I think it's 56 cents a mile, 58 cents a mile. It's somewhere right there. The IRS tax deduction is 54 cents a mile. So it should be really interesting. For most people driving gas cars in a market like this, I would probably say I wouldn't even bother with it. The cost of maintenance and everything is just it's gonna be too much for the little bit you're getting paid. But in a Prius, in a car that can easily pull double what a lot of cars on the road are getting, this might be something sustainable. This might be something you could actually do rideshare and make some money with. And I've always loved driving people around for money. It's fun, I enjoy it. So for a lot of my old school viewers that have been here and they're like, you're still tagging along because you like the Copart videos, but really the reason you came here was for Uber and Lyft videos. I want to try to cover that content for you again. I can't stay away from the rideshare industry, and we're going to do this together. We're going to put miles on the car, and then we're going to cover what breaks, what has to be fixed, what it costs, and how to fix it yourself. I think that's a big one. So this is exciting. I'm truly excited to get back into the rideshare gig and continue doing Copart. I want to make that very clear. There's a new set of viewers on here that are all about these Copart flips. They probably don't care about rideshare. But I also have an entire set of viewers that care about rideshare and probably don't care so much about Copart. So this way I can kind of cover 2 classes of content on one channel. And this is difficult to do. It really is. It's difficult to keep a channel going when you switch content up. But I believe I can do it, and I believe you guys are going to ride with me, and we're going to make that happen. I want to give a shout out to Blackview. They make the best cameras in the industry. They just sent me their latest DR900S. They sent me about a $650, $700 package for this rideshare thing. Amazing 4K camera, infrared interior cam. This is a 2-channel, a battery pack that will run the camera 24 hours with no power to the car at all. Wi-Fi, you've got videos going up to the cloud. This camera is their latest technology, and I'm going to be doing a separate video reviewing it for you guys, but first I got to get it installed in the Prius, get it all set up and active and working so that I can do this review video. But big shout out to Blackview on that. Stay tuned for that, because they are supplying the cameras that are going to be bringing you guys some of the footage in the future. And last but not least, I forgot, a lot of you wanted to know what happened with the Beamer. Well, that's a short story. The Beamer was sold on approval. My bid was the winning bid at $600. The seller came back and said he wanted $1,900. And I said, no way, not a chance. I'll pay $600 as I agreed to. Why would I pay $600 plus Copart fees? Because the car had some amazing body panels. The headlights, the tail lights, the rims, the tires, these things were in excellent condition and would have easily brought me a profit. That would have been a car that if I could not get running and driving, I would have simply scrapped it, torn it apart, sold the parts individually on Craigslist. But the seller never responded to me standing firm at $600. The time has run out, so I did not win the Beamer. Even though I did win the Beamer in the auction, I didn't win it because the seller didn't accept my bid. So there you have it. The Beamer's gone. I am looking at other stuff. Stay tuned, because next week we're going to do a Copart walk around. Next week we are bidding on another car. The truck, the truck. We got the Street Avenger Holly carburetor is coming today. The tires already came. The rims are supposed to be delivered today. The new air cleaner got delivered today. There's a lot of stuff going on with the truck that I need to jump into also. So this channel is going to take up a lot of my time. So bear with me, and keep in mind that even though you're watching a short 10-15 minute video, it's taken hours of my day to put this video together for you guys. I love what I do. I love being able to get paid to do what I enjoy. And I thank all of you for sticking with me and going through this transition with me. And I'm excited about the future, and I hope you are too. If you enjoyed the content, man, give me a big thumbs up. I can't tell you how much that helps. If you think my content sucks, don't hesitate to give my videos a thumb down. But always, no matter what you do, please comment below. I love reading and responding to your comments. I really love interacting with you guys. And be safe out there. I always say that, and I mean it. Stay safe out there, everybody. I'm going to do a live stream, hopefully later tonight. I'm going to try to do it around 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you guys want to jump in on a live stream, if you have any questions for me that you want answered, just anything in general, whether it's rideshare related, I don't care. Ask me some personal questions too. It's going to be an open forum for you guys. Jump on my stream later, about 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I plan on doing a live stream for you guys, but bear with me. It's my first time doing a live stream on the Mac. I don't know how it's all going to work out. I've never done it before, so it could be a little rough at first, but bear with me. We'll get through it. I look forward to seeing you there. Like, comment below, subscribe to the channel. Stay safe out there. I'll catch you soon in the next one.